Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, I am Imawati Bintu Razman, and my research topic is referred to the influence of learning transfer factors on transfer attention among staff in a research university. Okay, I will explain briefly the content, introduction, literature review, methodology, findings, discussion, and summary. And for introduction, we have problem statement here, which divide to the two gaps, which are conceptual gaps and practical gaps. For conceptual gaps, there are limited researches on learning transfer factors with transfer attention in the existing literatures. And previous findings have demonstrated evidence that some learning transfer factors correlated with the intent to transfer variable. However, findings indicating so are inconsistent. For example, from previous research, previous research, Abdul Karim et al. 2008, Hutchins et al. 2013, and in relation to a majority of the factors that was said to contribute to the relation between learning transfer factors and transfer attention. And if we go to the practical gaps, the current research already conducted the brief interview with a assistant registrar in that research university. And as we know, most of the organization use the Kirkpatrick evaluation model to measure the effectiveness of training programs by looking at four levels of evaluation, namely level 1, reaction, level 2, learning, level 3, behavioral changes, and level 4, result. And the research university has implemented the training program evaluation process up to level 3. However, based on the interview, due to the difficulty of retrieving the assessment form, the process of measurement and analysis is quite challenging and still cannot measure the changes in training behavior. Therefore, they need one mechanism in order to identify the relevant learning transfer factor which can contribute to transfer attention and transfer behavior as well. Then we will identify the level of learning transfer factor here, the level of transfer attention, and the effects of learning transfer factors on transfer attention among the respondent for our research objective and research question as well. And for the scope of the study, we only refer to only one research university and focus on one specific training program, which is competency development program. Okay, for the literature review, I will emphasize two things here, which refer to the Exer 1990 Theory of Brain Behavior and Holton et al. 2000. And for Theory of Brain Behavior TPV by Exer 1990, it have three antecedents for the attention behavior. Okay, three antecedents for the attention behavior, which are the attitude toward performing the behavior, the prevalent subject norms, and the perceived behavior controls on the individual. And this theory is a connected representation of an individual willingness to perform a given behavior and is assumed to be the immediate antecedent of a behavior which is viewed as deliberative and can be planned. And for this research, the TPB may be able to explain actually the transfer process by the focus of transfer intention and its antecedent. And in summary, we identify 14 learning transfer. Okay, from 60 learning transfer factors, we identify 40 learning transfer factors in LTSI conceptual model that represent all the construct in TPV. In other words, by the end of the training program, trainee will usually have made the decision to the extent to which they will apply the learned knowledge and skill to the workplace. And this intention is then strengthened by the disproportionate traits and attitudes of the training contents, performance outcomes, and expected consequences, and the overall support the trainee will receive when returning to work. And for example, of previous researchers that apply the TPB theory in learning transfer factor area is such as Share 2008 and Hutchins et al. 2013. And then how we will come out from the previous researchers, we come out with 16 hypotheses. For the methodology, we have a research design here, which our research design is a non-experimental study that utilized survey methods, and the quantitative approach was conducted by using the instrument as a data collection method, and the data was collected at one time by using the questionnaire. And for the population and sampling, we conduct or we choose purpose sampling technique due to the selection of population from the specific program, which was competency development program, and the targeted population understanding was professional management and supporting staff (PPP) in a research university, which involved around 475 participants, and the sample size is 214. And however, the return rate was 79.9%, that represents 171 respondents. And for the instrument and data analysis, the instrument for learning transfer factors was an adaptation from Hotel and Bates 2011, and transfer retention questionnaire or instrument was an adaptation from Hatchin et al. 2013, and the pilot study has been operated towards the scale of 30 supportive staff with alpha confidence values are above 0.65. And for the data analysis, the descriptive analysis was performed in order to identify the objective 1 and 2, while the inferential analysis, such as the correlation analysis, was completed first before proceeding to the linear regression analysis by using SPSS version 24. And the findings here show that the learning transfer factor among respondents is in high level due to we can see most of the factors are in high level. So however, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 factors that are in moderate level, while only one factor here, okay, which is supervisor of manager sanction, is in low level. And for the level of transfer intention, indicate that respondents have high level in transferring their training content to the workplace. So we can see here the transfer intention is the level of transfer intention is high, while the effects of learning transfer factor on transfer intention, we can set that the relation between learning transfer factor and transfer intention was investigated by using Pearson correlation. Okay, before we conduct the regression analysis. So we found that 40 learning transfer factor have the positive correlation. That's why we can see here when we go to the linear simple regression here, we found that significant level which p less than 0.01 showed that 40 linear transfer factors are influence transfer intention in the study setting, and based on the beta value there, standard coefficient of beta value, it was found that the strongest coefficient is 0.625 here, which is representing the transfer design factors. And therefore, all hypotheses were accepted except 2 hypotheses. Okay, we move to discussion and conclusion here. Okay, discussion 1. We found that 11 factors indicate the high level, which are self-efficacy, learner readiness, motivation to transfer, performance expectation outcomes, perceived content validity, transfer design, feedback, peer support, supervisor support, positive personal outcome, and personal capacity for transfer. Okay, while we have 4 factors that show immoderate level, which include transfer effort performance, openness to change, negative personal outcomes, and opportunity to use. And only 1 factor show the low level, which is supervisor or manager sanction here. And we also reveal the high level in transfer intention among the respondent, which they show that they have intention to practice the training content to the actual workplace, and in addition they are agreed and excited actually to apply the input they have learned and believed, the output from the training program will facilitate them in terms of improving their performance lah. And for the correlation here, only 2 out of 16 factors did not correlate to transfer intention, which are openness to change and negative personal outcome. And for the effects of learning transfer of transfer intention, we can see here the strongest factor is a transfer design, and this finding is supporting by DeVos et al. 2007, where they have found that transfer design is offering the most support for learning transfer of learning system in organization. And for the summary of this research, we uh, conclude it into the two implication, which is conceptual implication and practical implication. And for the conceptual implication, show the expand of learning transfer discussion in training evaluation area, okay, and which under human resource development field. And for the practical implication, of course, there are 14 learning transfer factors that need to be emphasized by research university in Malaysia, okay, to trigger or encourage transfer intention among their staff. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you and assalamualaikum.